We're going live in like now. Okay, boom. We need to go live here. Go live here. Okay, we're going live on YouTube, you guys. Join me on my YouTube channel, link in bio. And there's going to be a lot going on. We got the infamous Ed Calderon here, and it's going to be off of the hook. Good to see all you guys, man. Here's what feedback this user. Oh, okay. Good to go. Wow. Awesome. We are live on YouTube. It's going down. All right, sweet. Apparently, guys, I'm like some kind of pirate / freedom fighter dude, because it looks like I am not allowed to go live on my primary IG, and I'm not allowed to go live on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of my Facebook accounts. I don't know what I did, man. All I've been trying to do is educate people, you know? So we're live here. I'm going to let this run so you guys can just hear us talk, but join me on my YouTube channel, link in bio, to see me and Ed have this conversation, kick your comments, all the fun stuff. Dude, it's good to see you, man. It's been a while. It's been a while. How you been doing, bro?
I've been moving around, traveling, teaching, advocating, posting stuff online that gets me blocked left, just like you do. Just running around. This is the life, you know.
Heck yeah, man. Nah, I love it. Just at the beginning of this thing, so check it out, y'all. This is what we're gonna do. I got Ed Calderon, the infamous here. Protector Symposium 5.0 elite instructor, Weapon-ology. If you don't know, you need to ask somebody. Literally, you guys know I train like crazy, but this course still stands to be one of the courses I've ever taken that has made me more dangerous as a human being, more well prepared for the PC platforms as a human being than any other course I've ever taken. Very applicable to executive protection. We travel without our stuff. But before we get into that, I want to drop this quick video on Ed Calderon to give you guys a little bit of an intro before we get crazy. Boom.
Boom. Protector Symposium 5.0. Next up, we've got Ed Calderon, the infamous, right? Woo. Ed Calderon background, he's been with a number of different protection agencies and quasi-law enforcement agencies south of the border in one of the most sophisticated battlefields that the world has ever known up until this point, Mexico. So dealing with cartel violence and all the things that go on down there, it is one of the most active, I want to call it a war zone, active theaters that we face today, with the most up-to-date and the quickest evolving battlefields that we do see in today's day and age. And Ed Calderon grew up in the midst of all of it, working as a professional protector and doing protection operations. He's going to lay out for us a special course that I've gone through as well, which is a Weapon-ology course. This course will make you, this is one of the courses I've taken that I think can make a human being more dangerous than any other course you can take this year, because it teaches you the creativity needed to be able to turn pretty much anything around you into a weapon. It helps you understand on a deep level how weapons work, so you can understand on a deep level how to implement them and how to create them. So no matter where you are, if you have the knowledge you get from this Weapon-ology course, you're going to be able to be dangerous if needed. And why is that important? Because the mission at the Protector Nation is to make the world a safer place by helping good people to become more willing, capable, prepared. Said differently, help good people become more dangerous. And we've had Ed at a number of these events, and he's always delivered on the highest level. I'm honored to bring him back in the house for Protector Symposium 5.0. Boom.
Boom. That's what's up, man. You're doing something, man. How was that intro, bro?
That's a pretty good one. I almost believe my own bullshit, you know.
I love it, man. I love it. And I love how humble you are, dude. No, it's an honor to have you up in this game, man. So I always like to, and just so you guys know, we also have some real world videos. I want to just get Ed's take on them. Some videos I took from your profile, bro. So you have seen them before, but want to just get his 2 cents on it, man. Because we're all about making this stuff applicable and all that. But first question I always like to ask, and me and Ed have been kicking it for a while. He was on in the first season of Executive Protection Lifestyle back in the Dizzy. And I always open with the same question because it's so important, who are you at your core, man? Has that changed since the beginning of all this work? Like 3-4 years ago when we first started kicking it? Because we evolved,
Yeah.
So send it.
I started off as an instructor coming to the United States, realizing that the American dream is still there. I came to this country without anything. From one of the most interesting current conflicts going on in the world,
Yeah.
I think one of the things that's changed for me as a protector and kind of somebody that has come out of it is I've become a bit more of an advocate. I've been doing a lot more appearances on news programs, talking a little bit about a on the ground perspective of what's going on the border. And I've also been talking openly and extensively about some of my issues related to sobriety and becoming a bit more open to talking about some of the issues that kind of live in the periphery of a protector or somebody that works in this industry. I'm pretty open about some of my struggles and some of the issues that I've had, not only working in this field, but also suffering from some of the common maladies that plague this field, like PTSD, some of the issues related to substance abuse, and just being a face for some of these issues and showing people that doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, or how badass you think you can be. Some of these issues put you on your knees, and nothing wrong with kind of dealing with some of these issues in the public and showing people that it's a normal thing, and it's something we can get back on our feet from.
Bruh, that's what's up, man. See, y'all you see, this is the thing, man. This is the thing. There's all these people on the IGs and on the interwebs, and they be like kicking all this perfect stuff, and I've talked to a few of them, and they're like, man, I'm dealing with a little bit of imposter syndrome. And I'm like, dude, I think that's everyone tries to be perfect all the dang time, and fortunately for me, I ain't never been that good at nothing. I've always been the shortest guy on the protection detail. I'm 5'10", kind of chubby a little bit. I've never been that cool. I'm not a Navy SEAL. I'm just an infantry Marine that did some deployments. Who cares? So I had to build my brand on I'm just going to be an eternal student and be authentic as heck on this thing. And some will dig it and some won't dig it. And so the people I choose are the people I get that frequency from, the real deal, people that are genuine, real people. So now I ask this opening question. We talk about tactical stuff, but the reality is this is the underbelly of the warrior's lifestyle that no one talks about because everyone wants to be perfect. This is the good stuff. Because even for me, I got back from Iraq, dealt with my own version of PTSD, which is a total addiction to my own dopamine, man. So I didn't get addicted to a substance, but I was thrill seeking, crazy, traveling all over the world, doing drugs, doing EP, doing all the stuff in spades. I'm a freaking Marine. I can freaking handle it. And I was highly functional. So,
Yeah.
so I was that for a year.
We can be highly functional until we can't. And, we're riding around these meat suits that we think are going to last forever. And, I grew up skateboarding. I grew up jumping up and down on a stage with my punk band and thinking my knees were going to last forever.
Yeah.
Jumped out of a few planes later and then jumped out of a few Suburbans and ran around and fell off a 3-story building once. All that shit kind of starts accumulating. And, I get the aspect of trying to figure out adrenaline. I left the job and I left the job in a hurry. And by the grace of God, I had fellow protectors waiting for me stateside that kind of set me up and helped me out going through my process of being an American.
Yeah.
But I had to live in a quiet town somewhere in SoCal in the middle of an avocado orchard, and that's not what I was accustomed to. I was accustomed to an MP5 and a G3 on the wall, 3 radios going off, 4 cell phones, running around in one of the most dangerous cities on the planet, rocking and gunning, kicking doors down. That was my normal. And all of a sudden, you're in this avocado orchard and you're trying to figure out how to create danger. And a lot of us find if we can't find the danger, we'll create it. And I think it again, going through my very public and very hard process with sobriety and actually sharing some of the breakthroughs that I've had during my therapy sessions with the general public through my Instagram account. Yeah, you want to talk about vulnerability and just being bare.
Yeah,
there it is. But yeah, trying to find a new baseline or a new normal after a life like that, and realizing that for some of us, there's always a line of experience, and there's a line of your body being able to withstand the experience, and some of us already crossed that point. And trying to figure out where that is for us now after everything's said and done, and trying to figure out what the new normal is. I think it's in a big way some of the stuff that I'm currently looking for, and some of the stuff that I share with people on my Instagram account.
dude, that's super dope, super awesome. I think any and every warrior listening, this is resonating at some level for sure. You get done, you feel like a freaking Lamborghini, forced to drive in a school zone for the rest of your life. Like you're being forced to be a vegetarian after just, being a hunter. That's how I felt too, man. And you're 100% right. We create the danger. I was mad, thrill seeky, like doing all the like a lot of stuff. And then I ended up, fortunately for me, by the grace of God, could just sense the heat around the corner. I just was like, dude, I can't maintain this. Like, I mean, physically and mentally, I might even be able to with my life. Like something's going to happen. Like all the seeds I'm planting, all these decisions I'm making, like I can sense danger. And I had to leave and go to a different state and like reset all my relationships with my environment and everything. And I just instinctively was able to pull it off, fortunately. But we still lose 24 veterans a day, dang near, arguably. What for you, for anyone listening that this resonates with, like, tools for climbing out of that darkness and learning how to find a new normal that's palatable enough for you not to die inside and take your life?
And, first off,
which we don't know that it even works yet. Yeah, I mean, because we still,
First off, brutal honesty. Yeah, brutal honesty is the first one. Not only being able to be brutally honest yourself, but also to be able to digest that honesty when it's being, put upon you.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to hide behind honesty. Like, I'm an honest guy. I'm not into bullshit. And they use that as a defensive mechanism, as a shield, something to hide behind, I'm not Jocko Willink. I'm not going to wake up at 10 in the morning, fucking 4 in the morning and do kettlebells and fucking do all this shit. I'm not that. I'm not a cross country runner. I do shoot. I've shot a lot. I'm not an instructor to shoot, so I'm not going to be that guy going out there to shoot every day early. And but I am somebody that has some weird experiences. I think the main part is that the main thing that gets sold to us as protectors or as warriors or as anything is that you're gonna get better after every injury sustained. That's a lie. Some injuries don't heal, so you have to learn how to live with them. That's a lie. Another lie is the one we sometimes tell ourselves as far as emulation. We will see a Jocko Willink, we'll see a like a high level guy, individual or athlete, and we see what they show us, and we lie to ourselves in the aspect of that guy has everything that guy has everything going for him. He has everything together. I just need to do what he's doing, and I'll be there. And it's a lie. We all have different cards that we were dealt with when we were born, and we have to kind of play those cards. So number one, I think the first thing is just to be brutally honest with what we have, what we're capable of, and be realistic as far as what we can do with our current situation. But the first thing, the first thing is you have to want to do it, And a lot of us don't get there because we don't let go of the bottle, we don't let go of the joint, or we don't let go of the whatever our substance is, or other people, because some of us are addicted to that too.
Good stuff, dude. No, I love it, man. Okay, so brutal honesty. I did a presentation on masculinity last week for an awesome event called the Roger Up event. Opening masculine trait or trait of high quality human beings was vulnerability is strength. Vulnerability is actually strength. It's beautiful. It's authentic. It resonates, especially in a world with so much fake crap. Awesome, man. Well, I think they got a lot of value out of that. This is the real stuff. Adds the real deal. Let's lean into this little commercial I saw in your, not commercial. Knowing you, it's got a lot of layers, a little bit of depth here. I just want to play this real quick so they can get a little taste of what you guys are up to over there.
Me llaman calle pisando baldosa, la revoltosa y tan perdida. Me llaman calle, calle de noche, calle de día. Me llaman calle, hoy tan cansada, hoy tan vacía. Como maquinita por la gran ciudad. Me llaman calle, me subo a tu coche. Me llaman calle de mala alegría, calle dolida, calle cansada.
Yo, bruh. So it looked mad field crafty. I don't know what you can even say about it on here, man. But what's going down in this video? What am I looking at?
It's not though. It's not field crafty. It's Hong Kong protesters. It is Ukrainians filling styrofoam into bottles that they then fill with gasoline. It is kids that want to tag a sweet spot somewhere in LA that then can learn how to open up a padlock so they can get to it. I grew up in a place where good and bad, or the good guys and the bad guys, are really not. It's not as easily defined. In the same regard, my teachers weren't always as easily defined as this is the instructor and this isn't your instructor. I grew up tagging in Mexico, Tijuana specifically, and played in a few bands, skateboarded. The street gave me a lot of lessons, and among these lessons were that anybody can be a teacher at any time. From sitting down with some of the Hong Kong protesters and seeing what they decided to carry with them during those times, advising them on some of the ways you can weaponize everyday objects and cause some disruption with them. The video you just saw is showcasing one of the hoodies we sell. It has a bunch of concealment pockets to it, and he was concealing everything from a candy bar to a burner phone. A lot of these things may seem like some things out of a Jason Bourne movie, or things that are relegated to the realities of somebody working some sort of clandestine operation somewhere, or protector somewhere that can't have access to firearms because of the legalities of the area they're in. Whatever assumptions you have about that, about the nature of the material that you just saw, it is very much taken from people from every walk of life. People that have a desperate need to be armed, people that have a desperate need to be prepared for a bad situation, and people that are not allowed to have with them the means to defend themselves. In a big way, a lot of what I have shared with the world, and a lot of the mindset specifically that I share with this world through my social media and through some of the classes that I do, and through some of the training that I do for the federal government, is that of being armed always, not specifically
I
just
love
having weapons with you all the time, but having the mindset and ability to arm yourself anywhere you are. It is my opinion that the ability to defend yourself and that of your family, and having the means to do so, should be an internationally protected human right.
Yes, absolutely.
Out of all the things that I've said on some of the platforms that I've been on, that probably is one of the more controversial things that I've said. Living in a country that talks about gun registration and making guns illegal. I come from Mexico, and there's places in Mexico that would, they would sell everything they had for a gun to defend themselves. So I've been on both sides of that issue. People get alarmed when I show somebody how to arm yourself with everyday objects around you. They're like, why would you show that to somebody, Ed? Well, I always come back with the response that if this is news or new to you, you need to get out more. And then you need to realize that whatever enemy you perceive to be out there that might want to do you harm, this is something that he already knows, or she.
Yeah, and
so
then
make that assumption first.
Yeah, and it's probably implemented once or twice.
Yeah. I mean, it is when I talk about weaponology, number one, you're the weapon.
You're the weapon.
You're the weapon. And when I say you're the weapon, I don't mean to say it in a cliche thing like, I'm the weapon, all of these things are accessories. No, like you are the most dangerous species on the planet for your own species. Like you want to talk about a predator? It's us, right?
Yep.
I'm not going to be worried about a mountain lion coming into my house at night,
Mm-hmm.
So once you realize this, other animals in the wild kingdom will prepare specifically for their predator.
Mm-hmm.
Zebras hide amongst themselves. They'll have stripes and they'll hide in a crowd. Gazelles will focus on speed and kicks. What do we focus on as humans?
Making
for
money.
Our predators. If we focus on becoming dangerous for our predators, we focus on being smarter than they are. We focus on cardio, outrun them, maybe. We focus on having a weapon and or a superior weapon if we can, and if we can't, to have a weapon of opportunity that we can produce in the moment where it has an advantage over whatever's in the environment.
Right.
We start thinking about things in this way, and a lot of people freak out with this way of thinking because they say it's predatory. It is because we, have a canine, our eyes are forward. They're not to the sides of our heads like a cow. We are very much predators, and it's something that in a lot of ways is being either blocked as far as the way some of us are being brought up. They try and kill in
Uh-oh.
Am I back? There we go.
When you said in a lot of
Am I
ways
back?
it's being the NSA blocked you from talking. I mean, I don't know what I was gonna say. The second you said it's being blocked, I think you're back. I think your stuff's caught up. It's funny. This is what the Weaponology class you're gonna get from Ed is all about at the Protector Symposium 5.0, just so you guys know. Being armed.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. Predators.
Mindset, creativity. If you're surprised by some of the improvised weapons that I post up on my Instagram account, those are things that I see and I'm like, wow, that took that individual probably a few decades to learn how to do that. I replicate that experience in the matter of a few hours. I got to go to school to a university that not a lot of people get to go to. Criminal, not just by fighting against some people that are very crafty and ingenious in the ways they can maim, hurt, or kill you. I got to sit down with someone, have conversations, share a cigarette, writing down some of the things that they told me, video some other things that they actually showed me physically. Basically, I sat down. I have my combative training. I went through jiu-jitsu, boxing, judo, Krav Maga, you name it, I've trained it conventionally. But you have to realize that sitting down with an individual that can kill you with an ice pick by pulling down your hat over your face and stabbing you in the heart and punching your wound 3 times so it bleeds out faster. That individual might not be a black belt and might not be there to share a whole tradition of stabbing fuckers in the heart with you, but he's there to show you something. And it's a pretty good idea to listen to what some of these people have to say as far as their mindset, how they pick their weapons, how they manage distances. Main thing is this, Byron.
Yes, sir.
You have a bunch of protectors out there, and you want to teach them how to not, get into an ambush scenario or get out of it. If you find yourself in an ambush, it's not a successful ambush.
Exactly.
If you're trying to train people not to get into it or what to do once they're in there, it's probably a very, very good idea to teach them how to be very good ambushers themselves. At least you can't teach the defense of something until you become it in a big way. A lot of my best teachers were all about that. They were all about knowing your enemy, knowing his sword, becoming your enemy. Be mindful of not, going into emulation. You don't want to become a scumbag, but you do want to be able to reflect their activities with their actions. So being able to comprehend what you're looking at when somebody hides the knife inside of a baseball cap and stabs somebody in the neck with it. What is he doing? What's the thought process of hiding a weapon before? What's the thought process of when he chooses to utilize that weapon? Knives get talked about a lot in the classes that I do, and specifically it's because it's hard to emulate shooting somebody without a UTM in some environments, or improvising a gun or something to shoot, but not so hard to improvise something that's pointed or sharp. It's not that I just exclusively teach about knife fighting. It is specifically that I use it as an example of something or a weapon that you can create, manufacture, conceal, and use on somebody if the situation is, dire, basically.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome, man. I think the biggest takeaway for me was that principle of always being armed. Huge. You just don't know what situations you're going to be in. And we experience it as EP guys, as professional protectors, when it's like, oh, we're going to this venue, no one's armed. Oh, we're going to this country, no one's armed. Oh, we're going. You feel that feeling. Oh, we're going to be on this flight, no one's armed. That has conventional arming competencies, but the creativity of the enemy, the creativity of, and I don't even want to say the enemy, the creativity of the warrior, right? The values are different. The life experience is different. It's something I realized, when the dust settled on some things in Iraq, and I'm staring at these guys and I'm like, well, these are just people with different ideas, man, different upbringing. And the dehumanization of the enemy is it's stupid. But I think the huge takeaways are the creativity of a warrior. You don't want to be married to your hardware, and your sword you carry around every day, don't let it be your only Excalibur. And a lot of us train a lot with a lot of awesome instructors who have awesome conventional backgrounds, but we don't get to train with someone who has this unconventional creativity. And I know it takes a wolf to catch a wolf, and that's what we do in Iraq. And in war, there was no options. You better know how your enemy thinks, or he's going to come from another angle and cause damage. Dude, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a tendency to, either you have I'm the anti Grossman, I think. I'm not here to teach you how to be a sheepdog. I'm here to tell you you need to run with the coyotes, because those are the ones that are going to tear you apart. There's a tendency to dehumanize or to separate ourselves from what we perceive to be an enemy.
Right.
And you get this in you get this in the military, you get this in the police. As security professionals, you get the us versus the public aspect of it as well. As soon as you dehumanize or you separate yourself from your enemy, you become blind to his capabilities. This is a true, one of those universal things.
It's a protection strategy that humans use to deal with what it is they have to do.
Yeah, and also, if you're somebody in charge, you want to have your fighters, really just go after the enemy without having any sort of repercussions to them morally or religiously or whatever. You turn them into monsters. But it has two effects. One, yes, it'll make your fighters be able to not have those mental blocks as far as engaging an enemy. But it will make him blind to other aspects of the enemy and the ways that the enemy might be communicating towards you. It is fascinating to see low number enemies being able to get the better of government. Hong Kong protesters, people in Myanmar now going into printing firearms for themselves to be able to fight the government. Cartel organizations having camera systems installed in the cities that they control, and having the government not realize that those are there. Small contingencies, groups fighting larger groups. There's lessons there for everybody, and I think specifically for the individual, for the protector, for the international.
I'm sorry.
It's like, who do you want to emulate? Do you want to emulate the military, or do you want to emulate these small band of ragtag fighters that can do a lot with what they have? I don't know.
Yep.
I think it's a good idea to learn from both. I have done training for the highest levels of the U.S. military, and specifically related to weaponology, basically showing them how to arm themselves in a gas station. And you would think that some of this knowledge base would be common in certain circles, specifically at the higher level. I'm talking about people that are specialized, the high elite warriors out there. But then you make a chemical bomb in front of them using cleaning products and some mason jars, and they look at you like, where the hell did this come from? So just putting it out there. You grab a small jar, you fill it with cleaning acid, put a lid on it, put it in a larger jar, fill that with chlorine, put that in a lid on it, and you have yourself a chemical grenade that can clear a space if you are in a doorway and there's a lot of people there. That's a good crowd dispersal device. I constructed one of these in a class somewhere in Arkansas, teaching some very specialized individuals. They looked at it, they're like, holy shit, that's impressive, right? That's an impressive object you just made. Is this part of some sort of special military training you guys got down there? Did you learn this from the Mossad guys? Like, what is this? And I said, no, I learned this in a prison riot. They threw these at me during a prison riot. I looked at them. I was like, they worked. We ran for our fucking lives because it's airway burning. And I took notes. And I only took notes. I experimented with it a little bit. And now I teach it as part of the curriculum that I teach bunch of people out there, right? And all it takes is a moment to just realize that some of these things are out there, collect them, and the mindset that created this object, this artifact, this constructed, improvised weapon of opportunity for a very specific need. There's a moment of learning there for anybody and everybody. First one, you're not limited to the stuff that you have with you. That's a powerful one. Second, you're never unarmed. If you're not armed, And the CDC issued a warning about some of these chemicals that were mixed in those jars during COVID. So you didn't mix your own chemicals. They basically put out a page from the Anarchist Cookbook online during COVID. If people want to get a kick out of it, you can look that up online. Basically, don't mix these or you'll create this mustard gas. It's pretty fascinating. But main thing that you get to thinking with all of these tics, tricks, tactics, experience-based learning is that you can be armed anywhere, realistically. And you can find your advantages if you look for them, which in the end, that's all this is. It's a way to stack the advantages and to stack the probabilities in your favor in places where normally they wouldn't be because you don't have the means that you would like. Now, will a shank beat an AK-47? Depending.
Yeah, that's true. It can.
It depends. First off, does the individual with the AK know about the shank?
Mm-hmm.
Or will he find out about it when it's
inside
of it, going through his nasal cavity, right? I don't know. Is it worth knowing how to make one? I'd say yes. Every now and then I'll encounter the individual that'll say, "Ed, really? A kitchen knife? I'll shoot you with my gun, or I'll shoot you with my AR, or whatever." All these people assume that they know that this object is in play. All these people assume that they will be able to tell or see intention in you before you use it. And if you've been into any of my classes or you've been through any of the training that I have, you'll realize that the first thing I show you how to do is to hide intention. So that eliminates that. The second thing I teach you is to, figure out the object you're going to use and how and when you're going to use it. And usually the time, the space and time you use it is when it's the object's, when the object has an advantage over whatever weapon system might be in front of it, be it a rifle or something else that might be there. Now, would you rather have an option, or would you rather not have any?
Right.
And I think most of us would assume that we would probably go with the option, right? Now, if you have an option there, which is it going to be? Something that you saw work in a John Wick movie, a karambit with three knives on it and spike, or a straight shank that you see in every single fucking prison riot out there in the world that serves the purpose, just a straight pointed object. Why would you go with something like this over something a bit more complicated? Well, usually some of these people have some experience behind their choices. And if I can bring students through the experience part of why they would pick something like that, by showing videos of these objects being utilized on somebody, by showing some videos of a pig being stabbed with them, and by deconstructing why somebody would eventually end up with something like that in their hands. This is Weaponology.
This is Weaponology. Yeah, that is the stuff, man. I love this. Yeah, I mean, hopefully y'all are just like soaking this up, man. This is Weaponology. That was great, dude. I mean, I was like listening to part of the class real quick. This is what you guys are going to get when you come train with us at the Protect Your Symposium 5.0. Ed Calderon, along with, I think, 6 or 7 other instructors, Ed, Raul Martinez, Instructor Zero, Kawa 2 Alpha, the Sawman, Craig Sawyer, me. We're all going to be doing a big training. It's going to be over the weekend, September 16th, 17th, 18th. That's like next weekend.
Don't miss it. You guys will be able to train hands-on. You'll be able to train. And then we're also going to have the protective driving course where from the league, my executive protection school, where we're going to be making contacts, pitting you guys. You guys are going to learn how to pit, ram barricades. It's full circle. But also, real quick, let's look at a few of these scenarios, man. I want to get your take on this stuff. So good. Let's see what you think about this one.
Should be your lover, I should be your friend. All those silly issues made up in your head. Money can pay for your time, but it's not love. And love cannot pay for that shit that I bought you. Swear to God, I should be gone, be alone, cause I'd rather be with you and all your bullshit. Rather be with you and all your bullshit. I'd rather be with you and all your bullshit.
I'm having a good time over here, but what are you seeing happen here, man? What's going down in Chinatown? What's your take on this?
I mean, anybody, first off, he has absolutely no environmental awareness at all. You see him looking far away when he should be looking close by. Specifically, he should be looking at the fact that he is being,
Looked at.
being
Uh-oh, I think we lost you.
looked at or surveilled. He has eyes on him. He should be realizing that there's a concentrated group of predators around him. Their age group is the same. There is chest and or above their waist, which means that their hands are ready to do shit, which is something that I would be aware of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, faces will smile, eyes will wink, hands will kill the fuck out of you.
Yep.
He is carrying a means of wealth or of indication of wealth in the form of a gold chain in this concert, which is very stupid to do. Basically, attracting attention to himself as a resource. But basically, this guy's a gazelle with a stake on its neck going off into a watering hole, and all these motherfuckers are sharks, are crocodiles trying to eat him. He fucked up. He did his math. He did his math as far as if he's going to go back to get his chain. And there's probably 5 or 6 individuals that are a part of this group that are just snatching chains. So there's no way you're going to be able to fight anything back. And you can see the line of people that are involved in this.
Yep.
So is it going to be worth fighting 5 guys to get this chain back? Probably not. It wasn't worth taking the chain with you. And now there's a female involved that is in the middle of this guy and these predators. That guy as a protector is a fool. He should have that female behind him. But that is just the Mexican in me,
Yep. Get your people behind you. And educate them ahead of time so you don't have to drop the hammer on. Like, educate them ahead of time so they know where they need to stand if you have to do your thing. You know what I'm saying? This is good, man. That was
back into the left.
Yeah. Back into the left. I love it, man. Yo, we got another one here. Let's see what you think about this one.
One more time.
This was this morning.
You gotta move. Gotta get out of the way. Gotta get out of the way. You gotta move. I gotta go to work.
I know, I'm at work already.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Don't worry about
Thumbs
it.
up.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
What are your thoughts, man? Mr. It's Okay guy.
Before this happens, he tries to get into her car. If this guy made it into that car, it's a fight to get him out of the car. Her as a female, I don't know if I don't know anything about her, but I can assume that it's not going to be a good idea to get that person in your car. This person is probably somebody that has a lot of mental issues going on. I'm not saying she's justified in running him over if this guy is just in front of like that, there's no way that example is something that could turn pretty bad really quickly. Yes, it's a person that is obviously suffering from some mental issues, maybe substance issues as well. But this could quickly turn into a bad situation, and it could turn violent if this individual is placed in a situation where she has to go hands-on with him. In a confined space like that vehicle, we can talk to Craig Douglas about this. In a confined space like that vehicle, that is going to be a lot of advantages for that individual male that is not that doesn't have a seatbelt on. So there's a lot of lessons here. First off, do your own security. If you're driving around like this, do your own security. Check your rear view mirrors before you get into the car. Check that the car is locked as you drive. That's one issue that a lot of vehicles sometimes have. You have to be very conscientious about closing the doors as you drive around. Be very mindful of the people around your space. And if you're a female and you get somebody trying to open up the door in your car, there is not a lot of police officers out there that won't realize that you were trying to escape an active danger if you run that light safely, but if you run that light. The thing is that not a lot of us have been in that position, or not a lot of, maybe she hasn't never been in that position before. This is where training comes into play, because you get to manage some of these unknown aspects or threats in a training scenario, and then if they come to you in a live scenario like this one, you know what to do. This guy is an unknown. He's obviously deranged. There's some shit going on in his head. He's not being violent. He's just being very stubborn. But if he goes into a car, that's going to turn into something else.
Yep. And and then we get into the hard skills, right? So
yeah, I mean, what do you have in there? Do you have bear mace? Is that bear mace going to do you a service or a disservice in there?
Right.
Right. What's your number?
From your little class?
Yeah. What's your number one weapon there? I mean, you're basically driving around a giant projectile, but he is not a threat in front of you. In front of the hood is not a threat, but when he's in your car, he's a threat. Means he's negating the use of your vehicle as a weapon if he gets in. So what do you have in your car that's going to do anything in this situation? A handgun, a pointed object, like, what do you have?
Have you thought?
Yeah, what do you have? And not only what do you have, but what do you have on hand?
I love it, man. Have you thought through this trash before, right? Solid Weaponology. Real quick, I'm gonna rip this Protector Symposium preview so everyone can see the value they're gonna get. You guys are gonna get to train with Ed, but you're also gonna get to train with the whole crew this weekend coming up. Then we'll come back to Ed and we will close this bad boy out.
Protector Symposium 5.0 is coming at you. What is the Protector Symposium? It's a legendary event. This is our 5th iteration. We've had anywhere from 200 to 475 people at these events, learning elite protection skills, no matter what your background is, whether you're law enforcement, whether you're a professional protector, private security, whether you're a civilian, a single mom, an athlete, or a barista at Starbucks. Protection is the one skill that will allow you to keep everything that you know and love in your life. Come join us for a legendary event, a groundbreaking event, a legendary event that's different than anything else you've probably ever been to, and learn the skills of protection, the soft skills. On Friday, we will be in the auditorium, and you will learn from 6 amazing instructors. And then Saturday and Sunday, you will be put in a group and you will wagon wheel through all of the instructors, the hard skills around the following competencies.
The infamous Craig Sawman Sawyer is going to be in the house, and he's going to be laying down some wisdom about what it takes to be a modern protector. He's got an amazing background, Navy SEAL, SEAL Team 6, sniper. He's got expertise in shooting, surveillance detection, anti-terror task force operations, pretty much you name it. He's been doing it for decades. Some of you guys might recognize him from a few TV shows,
Sniper, Deadliest Missions. He's been on all the seasons of Top Shot, Rhino Wars. He's been in the community and out in the field, really living the life of a warrior. He's been a lifelong warrior of many different disciplines. Next up, we've got Raul Martinez, who's going to teach you the art of being able to implement, regain control of your firearm in the clinch. Do you know how to actually pull that weapon and implement it in close range? Can you get it back if something happens to it? Unfortunately, all too often, CCW owners pull their weapons, or police officers on duty, they pull their weapons and they get attacked and they don't know how to deal with it. Raul's going to teach you how to do that. Next up, we've got Ed Calderon, the infamous, who's going to teach Weaponology, which is one of my favorite courses because I believe this course is maybe more dangerous than 90% of the courses that I have taken over my professional career. You're going to learn the ology behind weapons. You're going to be able to make anything into a weapon after you understand and have gone through this class, which will also consequentially help you become better at implementing weapons most effectively. You will never be without a weapon after this course because this is the ultimate weapon. It's an amazing course. Next up, we've got Kawa 2 Alpha 2 Quit, who is a Green Beret who's been teaching elite fighting forces the art of close quarters movement, close quarters battle, how to fight with a gun inside of a building, inside of a structure. This is something that this is a space we all exist in all of the time. What if someone goes active in your building? Can you evacuate that? Can you evacuate that structure effectively with your CCW? What if you're the one who has to go find them? What if you're a police officer on duty and you need to go into a structure to save lives? Can you navigate that environment? A professional protector like myself in the private security industry, and something happens in the building, you're in the building with your client. Can you navigate one of the most sophisticated environments to navigate when the possibility of a gunfight is real? Last, but definitely not least, we've got the infamous Instructor Zero coming to us from over the pond. It's an honor to bring him in. I've been wanting to train with him for a long time. He's going to be teaching us how to fight around vehicles. Where do 80% of force encounters take place? They take place in transitional spaces, on your way from your office to your car, on your way from your car to your house, at the gas station. Watch my tactical protection reviews and you will see that 80% of those vehicles are outside around vehicles. So do you know how to make your vehicle into an asset when it comes time to fight? That's what we're going into. 1 full day in the auditorium, 2 full days out at the field, learning the soft skills with some of the best in the world, and then learning the hard skills and putting them in place with some of the best instructors in the world. This is the Protector Symposium 5.0 from Protector Nation coming at you. This is Byron Rogers, protector by nature and by trade. I can't wait to see you out there and train together. Out. Boom! I'm back up in it to win it. This conversation's been awesome. It's been brief. Hanging with Ed Calderon, one of our elite instructors for this upcoming Protector Symposium, letting people taste the magic, man. And I hope you guys will train with us. ProtectorSymposium.com. It'll be good to shake so many of your hands. Thanks for the comments, you guys. Tommy Slav, 100%. You got to think like the enemy, especially when it comes to surveillance, you know. Seeing you guys on here, Vince, PJ, all the great stuff you guys are contributing in the comments, much appreciated. Just and unfortunately no GI Bill on this one, but we got some stuff coming up, GI Bill, for my EP school, so pay attention to that. It's going down September 16th, 17th, 18th, coming in hot, Tucson, Arizona. So Ed, my final question, I got 2 more for you and we'll close because we both got to bounce. At the end of the day, the stuff you've been doing, the work you've been doing, what's it all for? How do you want to be remembered in the game? Easy. It's easy.
Disruptive. I want to be disruptive. I want to be remembered as this disruptive dude that came on the scene and made kitchen knives viable as a weapon, made WD-40 cans and pocket flamethrowers a thing. Somebody that just changed the game.
Yeah.
I remember being a student myself and walking into some of the same type of classrooms that some of you guys are going to be walking into in a couple of weeks, and being on the student side and seeing my instructors. I went through a bunch of crazy shit, and I got to do some of the craziest shit that people of my age have done in the recent history. Some very crazy shit, and I survived it. I wanted to make that experience worth what it was, and I think if I can moment for people that.
Yeah, man. Make that experience worth what you paid for it, man. And then contribute, pay it forward, be disruptive. I know that's one of the reasons we get along so well, man. Because I'm the same way. Disruptive contributions, man, from unique experience. It's a beautiful thing, and it can't be matched. And I think it's what guys like us, are here for. Like, your experience is so unique. Like, you got to contribute from that place. And it's also what I want to inspire people to do. There's so many people watching us all the time that have so much to give, but they just, maybe don't get on the path. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ed Calderon, Protect Your Symposium 5.0 Elite Instructor. Brother, it's been an honor, man, spending this time with you. Uh-oh, I think you're a little bit frozen. Okay. Fantastic. Yeah. All right, y'all. Come train with us, protectyoursymposium.com. And yeah, man, thank you. It's an honor and a privilege, brother. See you in a few days, man. Boom. That is where we'll end it, dude.